symposium, and as we do for all of our symposia, we have regional AO members and speakers. So we had a periodontist from Brazil, a prosthodontist, a restorative dentist from Chile, and an oral surgeon from right here in Argentina, discussing the complexities in their various practices driven by research and evidence, and sharing those and how they apply those in their day-to-day clinical dentistry. The academy is very unique. It's a global academy, not a regional academy. We have a footprint in all regions and continents around the world at this point. Our key elements are the fact that we're multidisciplinary, we are global, and we are evidence-based. And we have a fairly unique niche in that regard. Well, if we look how it's moved forward, even since, let's say, the 1990s, with the particular elements are the, I would say, the evolution of surfaces to further encourage osseointegration, and with great success in that regard. I would say treatment approaches with regard to immediate loading versus delayed loading, both of which of course are still relevant, but a lot of progress in the ability to choose between those two approaches depending obviously on patient requirements. The biomaterials with which you restore your implants have evolved significantly since then. The elements, for example, abutments and other devices that bridge between the implant itself and your restoration have evolved to be much more considerate of the response of the tissues and much more user-friendly for the practitioner. Well, you hit on what we feature every year at our big annual meeting, and our 2019 meeting, as you know, is in Washington, D.C. And we feature all of those things, the latest development in all those aspects and areas. When we look at today, the options, I mean, there are very traditional approaches, let's say to full arch restorations of, you move from acrylic approaches to metal ceramic, to all ceramic approaches such as zirconia, for example, and you have those options. A number of different metals and alloys you can work with at this point. And a number of different approaches to all ceramic. For example, it can be monolithic zirconia, or there are a number of approaches whereby you have a feldspathic porcelain or other type of ceramic in a multi-laminar approach to improve aesthetics and performance. So just lots of progress in a number of areas designed to improve both the patient experience and the performance of our implant rehabilitations. And that's a really good question. We are based in North America. Our head office is in Chicago, but we have a few strategies by which we exercise our global approach. Obviously, our journal of Oromaxillofacial Implants, is a global journal, and our editorial board reflects that, and it's with an international publisher, being Quintessence, a great partner and friend in the industry. We have an approach whereby in countries that have a critical mass of AO members, we form charter chapters whereby they gather under the aegis of the Academy of Osseointegration. We will support them in their activities, and they gather fairly regularly to share knowledge, information, updates in the evidence. For example, I was just at one in London, England, which our past president, Michael Norton, was very kind enough to support and host in London. In countries that don't have really critical mass yet, or whereby they have existing organizations with whom we partner, we do what's called outreach. For example, in South Africa, they have a marvelous, the SAAO is a great organization, does very well, great regional organization. And we had a symposium within their meeting, for example, as an outreach strategy as we partner with them, because our strategy internationally is to ensure we have a presence on every continent. say, as a prosthodontist, that everything is implants. Implants are part of a larger picture of assessing a patient's requirement and approaches to meet that patient's requirement and there are times when implants may not be appropriate for reasons that are biological, sometimes financial, sometimes prosthetic, very rarely. So I would say they are an essential adjunct to comprehensive treatment planning and rehabilitation delivery. But obviously they're not in and of themselves the entire solution to every patient's problem. Well, a pretty darn good start would be to attend the Academy of Osseointegration annual scientific meeting and to be a subscriber to our journal, therefore be a member of the Academy. And by doing so, you will be front and center to see all the developments that take place in implant dentistry, from research at the cellular level all the way up to the biomaterials and macro approaches to patient rehabilitation. Again, in most jurisdictions, it's an expectation of the licensing body, and I can't speak for all jurisdictions, but most jurisdictions of which I'm aware, it's an expectation of the licensing body that all licensed dentists will be conversant in dental implants and be aware of where they might fit to serve individual patients that are in their office. And therefore they are obliged to, in situations whereby that may be one of the treatment options, to describe that as part of the informed consent process for their patients. And so that's really where I see the omnipresence in the majority, I would say, of global jurisdictions, is the expectation that it's a normal part of general practice. And as a practitioner, you don't have to provide them, you have to be aware and refer as required. But they are a key part of practice today. Again, they're not the entire practice per se. Even though there are entities such in North America whereby the entire clinic is based around rehabilitation either immediately or to existing edentulous arches of patients with an edentulous arch, and they will have at least a provisional solution that same day. And so those clinics understandably are focused on that particular approach because it's a very specific type of patient that they're treating. I'll be very interested to watch the development of that. Obviously ceramics are biocompatible. How they perform in research environments over time, under loading, with prostheses attached. I'm very interested to follow that literature as it evolves. Ceramic implants aren't brand new. People historically have attempted to develop systems. I'll be interested to watch the evolution of that, and of course that kind of evolution will take place right on our main stage at the Academy of Osseointegration annual scientific meeting. Well, I don't want to make a sweeping statement because there's lots and lots of type of things that people call mini implants. There are stainless steel, there's titanium, there's ones that are designed not to integrate, there's ones that are designed to integrate, there's ones that are designed intended to be temporary, ones that are designed to not be temporary. So I wouldn't want to make a sweeping comment per se. The major companies have narrow platform implants that they offer for specific situations, and of course in those situations, as long as the case is fully planned to be biomechanically substantial, very, very successful. I would recommend to ensure that any narrow implant that you're using is supported, for example, in the United States by the FDA or whatever the approving organization is by your government in your respective country. We have an AO certificate program which is really based on experience and competencies, in which at our annual meeting we have pre-conference courses that are designed to fulfill the requirements for the AO certificate in implant dentistry. So I welcome and encourage folks to consider going that path, because it's quite a nice thing to have on your wall in your office. Your patients will respect that. I would just really invite your readership, and it's a marvelous global readership, so we share that, to consider becoming more active in the Academy of Osseointegration be it through our journal, be it by attending our meetings. We also have, and you'll have to go to our website, osseo.org, O-S-S-E-O.org, affiliate memberships available, which are much less costly, really an online membership per se, to give you access to those sorts of resources, with the understanding that not all folks around the world are going to travel to North America to come to a meeting. And so I welcome folks to go online and engage further with AO, because I think we have a solution for all implant practitioners around the world.